Hey everyone, it's Brian. Been a couple weeks since I've done a video. Been doing some remodeling here at the house. Went on a little vacation, and it's been probably a month or two since I've done an A to Z PC. I last left off with my part 2 of the G's, and this is the part 3 final series of the G's. And it starts with King Griffey Jr. Then I got King Griffey Jr., the Guerreros, and then end it with Tony Gwynn. But first off, we got Ken Griffey Sr. here, who we all know had a good career with the Cincinnati Reds there. 3D superstar card here. He was made his major league debut for the Reds in 1973, and his last playing day was 1991 for the Seattle Mariners. He finished with a batting average of just under 300 at 296. Had over 2,100 hits, 150 plus home runs, and a little over 850 runs batted in. And like I said, he played with the Reds from 73 to 81 during that big red machine time. And he also played with the Yankees from 82 to 86. Then he went on to play with the Braves from 86 to 88. And then he went back to the Reds in 88. And finished up with the Mariners from 90 to 91. And here's his rookie card, the 74 rookie card here, the upper right corner there. And then the 82 Don Russ of his. And he was a 3-time All-Star, 2-time World Series champion, 75 and 76. And he was inducted into the Cincinnati Reds Hall of Fame. And this is the only other card I have of his, which is the 88 Topps with him with the Braves there. But next up, we'll do a little bit of a story on his son, Ken Griffey Jr. Ken Griffey Jr., as we know, was a very prolific player for the Seattle Mariners. And he even played some time with the Cincinnati Reds with his dad. But there was a time when he almost didn't play and didn't live. Tried to commit suicide back in 1988 as an 18-year-old kid, struggling with the game of baseball. And all the critics, and the biggest critic was his dad. He would say that he'd come home every night, his dad yelling at him because of this and that he didn't do well on the field or whatnot. So he swallowed over 270 aspirin. And fortunately, his girlfriend took him to the hospital, and he lived through that, obviously, but he was just so angry that he just didn't want to even play the game or live anymore because he was tired of the spotlight being put on him. But as we know, his spotlight grew even bigger when he was drafted and started his first game with the Seattle Mariners in 1989. The last game he played was in 2010 for those same Seattle Mariners. He had a major league batting average, 284. He had over 2,700 hits, 630 home runs, and 1,836 RBIs. He was with the Mariners from 89 to 99, with the Reds from 2000 to 2008. And then he played a brief stint with the White Sox in 2008, and then back to the Mariners to finish out his career from 2009 to 2010. He and his dad eventually did make up their differences, and they do get along a lot better now. There's news of that as well. He was a 13-time All-Star, the AL MVP in 1997, 10-time Gold Glove winner, and a 7-time Silver Slugger Award winner as well. He was the NL Comeback Player of the Year in 2005, and 4-time AL home run leader, 94 and 97 through 99. He was the AL RBI leader in 1997, and the Seattle Mariners retired his number 24, and he also was put into the Seattle Mariner Hall of Fame, the Cincinnati Reds Hall of Fame, as well as the Baseball Hall of Fame in 2016. He was also voted onto the Major League Baseball All-Century team. There's little controversy surrounding his retirement and how it went down, but a lot of folks say that he basically just called one day as he was traveling to Florida, going back home, and basically just called the team and said that he's done. He didn't want to play anymore. And I guess when you think about it, when guys know when they're finished, when they're done, much like others that we've heard in the past, like Mickey Mantle did kind of the same. He just knew when his time was past. But here's a few of the cards that I have of his. Don't have too many, but collected a few during the 80s and 90s during his career, and obviously some of these I've purchased at some card shows as well. But the kid, as they called him, was definitely one of the best, one of the greatest. His cards are right up there with some of the biggest stars in the game, obviously. But anyways, I just wanted to show off a few of these cards to you in my collection. And the next cards up that we'll have next, kind of a father-son duo as well, will be Vladimir Guerrero Sr. and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Vladimir Guerrero Sr. started his career in 1996 with the Montreal Expos, and here's one of his rookie cards that I have, and he finished his career with the Baltimore Orioles in 2011. He had a .318 batting average, over 2,500 hits, 449 home runs, and over 1,400 runs batted in. He played with the Expos from 96 to 2003, and then he played with the Anaheim Angels from 2004 to 2009. Played with the Texas Rangers 2010, and the Baltimore Orioles in 2011. 9-time All-Star, he was the AL MVP in 2004, and an 8-time Silver Slugger Award winner. He was also inducted into the Angels Hall of Fame and also into the National Hall of Fame in 2018 with over 92% of the vote. On September 26, 2011, Guerrero surpassed Julio Franco as the all-time MLB leader for hits by a Dominican player. However, that was surpassed in 2014 by Adrian Beltre. But regardless, Vladdy Sr. had quite a career. And his son, Vladdy Jr., is off on a great start as well. This season, as we all know, he's lost some weight. His playing weight is a lot less. He's playing a lot stronger. I don't collect too many modern ball cards, but I had a couple of these I picked up. But his debut was for the Toronto Blue Jays in 2019. Currently, he's batting .286 with 59 home runs and 190 runs batted in. He was voted to the All-Star game in 2021 as well. Those are a few of the cards I have of the father-son tandem. And then the last cards I'll be showing you are for Mr. Tony Gwynn. Tony Gwynn, otherwise known as Mr. Padre, played his entire career with the San Diego Padres. There was a time, however, though, that he might not have played baseball and would have played basketball because he was quite good at that game. He played at San Diego State University and was on the Aztecs basketball team for 2 seasons and not even thinking about playing baseball. He was never called by the baseball coach at all, Jim Dietz, back at that time, to play the game. However, at that time, 2 outfielders riding their bicycles were struck by an automobile and injured. And at that time, Coach Dietz needed some replacements. So a friend of Tony Gwynn's, Bobby Meacham, mentioned Gwynn in high school and convinced Coach Dietz to give him a try. After that, the rest is basically history, because Gwynn said, had that accident not happened, I may never have gone on to play baseball. Fortunately for us, he did, and he played from 1982 to 2001 with the same team, the San Diego Padres. He had a lifetime batting average of .338. He had over 3,100 hits, 131 RBI, 135 home runs, and over 1,100 RBIs as a player. He was an 8-time NL batting champion, 15-time All-Star, 5-time Gold Glover, and a 7-time Silver Slugger. One of the awards that he won that he was very proud of winning also was the Roberto Clemente Award in 1999. His number was retired, number 19, by the San Diego Padres, and he was enshrined into the San Diego Padre Hall of Fame as well. He was also inducted into the National Baseball Hall of Fame in 2007 with a vote of over 97.6%. Unfortunately, we lost him at a young age, around 56 years old, to cancer. One of the greatest hitters, Mr. Padre, and I'd encourage some of y'all, if you haven't watched it, there is a nice YouTube story on him and his life in baseball and outside of baseball. Kind of deals with his shortcomings after baseball, called Mr. Padre. But I got a lot of respect for guys that stay with their team throughout their career. Cal Ripken did that as well. And just to stick with him, stay with him regardless of the situation. But here's just a few of the cards that I have in my PC of his. And I've always liked the way he carried himself as a ball player. And I'm sure a lot of you have enjoyed watching him as well as a hitter. We lost him, like I said, at a young age in his 50s. He went on to coach at San Diego State as well as some other colleges, because he really just couldn't get out of baseball. He had to stay in it and coach and be around kids, as a lot of these athletes do when they're done. They like to continue to coach in some aspect, whether it's in college or high school or just in the backyard with their kids in Little League. But anyways, I appreciate y'all watching these videos of the A to Z PC, part 3 of the G series here. And again, I know it's been a little bit of a long video here, but I appreciate you guys sticking around and watching to the end. And like I always say, collect like you're a kid. Take care.